Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another delicious cake recipe. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a recipe for this decadent and for this moist pineapple sponge cake. Now this recipe was submitted to me by my grandmother's sister, Aunty Pado. So I want to thank Aunty Pado for sharing her sponge cake recipe with us. And I hope you guys leave some amazing comments and thank her down below. So if you guys are interested in watching how to make this super moist sponge cake, then please keep on watching. So I'm starting off in my stand mixer, and if you did not want to use your stand mixer, you could do this by hand, but you would have to beat it very hard and for a long time in order for everything to come together properly. But in my stand mixer, I went in with my softened unsalted butter, and I'm just going to whip that for about a minute or until the butter softens even more and it gets very creamy. After fluffing the butter for about a minute on a medium speed in your stand mixer, you're going to go ahead and add in your sugar. We're using granulated sugar today, but if you wanted to switch it up and use some brown sugar for this, feel free to do so. All I'm going to do now is allow this to beat on a medium speed in my stand mixer for about 5 to 7 minutes, or until this mixture almost doubles in size and it gets very light and very fluffy. So as you guys can see, after the 5 to 7 minutes, my mixture has gotten bigger in a sense because it's gotten very fluffy, it's lightened in color, and it's nice and smooth, and that's exactly what you want. So at this point, I have my eggs that I've beaten, and I like to beat my eggs before putting it into the mixture so this way it can incorporate better. And into those eggs, I went in with my vanilla extract or mixed essence that I'm using. I just want to mix that up so this way the vanilla extract and the eggs are well combined and they can combine evenly with the butter and the sugar. But basically, once I mix these two ingredients together, I'm going to start streaming in the eggs little by little until they are combined with the butter and the sugar mixture. The reason why you have to put the eggs in only a little bit at a time is so this way it can combine properly and you do not get a cake batter that separates in the end. So I'm going to continue adding this in about 2 to 3 tablespoon increments and waiting until each addition is fully combined. So I finished beating my eggs with my butter and my sugar, and at this point I just want to go over the dried ingredients. So in a small bowl I have my all-purpose flour. I went in with just a little pinch of salt, and that's going to round out the sweet flavor. And I'm also going to go in with my baking powder. That's going to give the cake a nice little fluffiness. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix these ingredients together until they're well combined. So now that my eggs are combined with the butter and the sugar, I'm going to slowly stream in my flour mixture. Now I like to put my dried ingredients in 2 batches. Again, the reason why I always do this is because I find that it combines much more evenly with the wet ingredients. I find that when you put all of it in at once, the cake batter tends to get a little bit lumpy and the flour doesn't incorporate evenly. But all you're going to do is keep streaming it in until the flour is combined, and as soon as you see that there's no more dried flour, you just want to scrape down the sides, give it a final mix, and stop mixing. If you overmix any type of cake when you add the flour, then the glutens will form and the cake will be very tough and dry in the end. So the cake batter looks beautiful and smooth, and the last addition, Aunty Pado's secret to this beautiful cake, is the crushed pineapple. So basically all you do is take a can of crushed pineapple, drain out a little bit of the juice until most of the juices are gone, and then you're going to put it in your food processor or your blender and blend the pineapple until it is totally fine and pureed. You do not want any chunks in this, you just want the pineapple to go into the cake to give it that flavor and give it that moistness. So once I got my pineapple all pureed, I poured it into my cake batter and I'm just folding it in lightly. You do not want to overmix again, just keep on folding it in until the pineapple is fully combined. To bake my cake today, I'm using a 10-inch springform pan. All I've done is buttered it really well, and then I spread a little bit of flour on it so this way it can be greased properly and the cake will slide out in the end. You can use a smaller pan and you can also use a bigger pan depending on how thick you want the cake to be. Just know that if you use a smaller pan, the cake is going to take longer to bake, and if you use a bigger pan, it'll take less time to bake. So all I'm doing is I'm putting this mixture into the cake pan. I'm going to spread it out until it's nice and smooth on top, and I'll show you what to do next. Once I got my cake batter spread really well into the pan, I went ahead and I studded the top with some maraschino cherries that were cut in half. Now you can put as many or as little cherries as you want, and you can even omit it because this stuff is totally optional. Now all I've done is I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and just like with the rest of my cakes, I placed a little oven safe bowl or container at the bottom of the oven and I filled it with boiling hot water. The reason for this again is so this way your cake does not dry out during the cooking process. So I'm going to pop my cake in the oven and I'm going to bake it at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes or until when a toothpick is inserted, it comes out clean. Now you have to make sure that after about 40 minutes you check it just to see if it takes less or more time than mine did. So here is that beautiful pineapple sponge cake. I just want to quickly thank Aunty Pado for this amazing recipe because this cake was decadent, it was moist, and it was really rich and just something that you would want to eat during the holiday season. So I'm going to cut into it really quickly and just show you guys how beautiful the inside looks. I will say that this sponge cake is more of a dense sponge cake just because it has so much liquid in it with all of the eggs and all of the pineapple, but it is really moist on the inside, and if you're a person who does not like a super fluffy cake, then this is definitely for you. So if you guys enjoyed this recipe today, please give this video a nice big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed yet, and come on over and join the Matthew's Guyanese cooking family. And of course, you got to keep leaving those comments down below so I know what to cook next. Once again, I just want to thank Aunty Pado for sharing her beautiful sponge cake recipe. I hope you guys drop some amazing comments down below for her, and I'll see you guys again very soon with one of my newest recipes.